Man, you can spare your mobile some effort. Huh? What do you say? We have become, what should I say, servants of the mobile. And we all suffer from what is called nomophobia. Have you heard of this term? Nomophobia, no mobile phobia. The fear of your mobile getting lost. We are so dependent. Hmm? If WhatsApp were to shut down shop tomorrow, I think half of our departmental work will come to a halt. Am I wrong? Anyway, so it is online. All the people in the zone can hear me. So, to everybody who's hearing me anywhere in the state of Andhra Pradesh, a very good evening, and to all of you here. Okay. So, first of all, why? Why to have this talk or this interaction? And on this topic of motivation. You see, we are all bureaucrats working in a very structured environment where our roles are very well defined. Okay. But if you talk of corporates, I don't know how many of you have experience of corporate culture, but I don't have direct experience, of course. But when my daughter joined an American firm and she keeps on interacting with me, I got to know how much HR means for them, human resources development. The HR there is a huge thing. Means the HR wing of any corporate is the mightiest, or I should say, carries the most power. But in government departments like us, which are structured, which go strictly as per rules, what do we have in the name of HR? We have promotions, increments, we have training courses. Our Nasin Pala Samudram is coming up. By the way, how many of you have gone there? Have had the opportunity? I went to Nasin Pala Samudram a few days back to witness the POP, the passing out parade of the 74th batch. And did I feel proud? Oh, I was bursting like this. I think we have downed NPA. I think this lady Athira, she was a part of the passing out parade. Congratulations for that day. A wonderful parade. I mean, I could see the parents sitting in the backside with the pride in their eyes. So coming back to the topic, we don't have much of HR. At least this is what I feel. Okay, but HR and motivation are linked. Okay, it is my feeling, or rather my summing up my experience of now over 34 years in the service, that we need to have much more in the name of HR. Anyway, that is something beyond me, but let me do something what I can do at my level. Okay. So, acha, cutting. Okay, okay. Thanks for guiding me. So I have to keep within this range from this to and roughly this. Okay, okay. So this is my attempt, or rather I should say an HR attempt to reach out to you. Can we bring down the temperature of the ACs? Air conditioners? Ah, ah. Please tell somebody to set the temperatures lower. So this is my attempt to do the HR bit. Motivation is my attempt to do the HR bit. Now, before I begin, I'll ask you a very simple question. What is motivation? The topic today is employee motivation. Motivation. What is motivation? Anybody? Please raise your hands and answer. What is motivation? The excitement to do something. Okay. Somebody else? Atira, what is motivation? Did they teach you something? And tell me one thing. This will increase my knowledge. In the 2 years of the training you had, did they deal with the aspects like motivation, employee motivation? Like, was this a topic at all even remotely touched in your training? Man management. Man management is a much smaller thing. Motivation is a much larger universe. So motivation, you said, excitement to do something. Srikanth, what is motivation? I'm asking you not to pass the mic. What is motivation? Please. So encouragement by getting some more facilitation. Facilitation. You are near about that. Okay. So you people roughly know what motivation is. Motivation, if you go by the literary meaning, if you Google it, it will say enthusiasm to do something. Okay. Now, before I begin on this, 2-3 things I like to say. Disclaimers or whatever you call it. Nothing in this presentation has been taken from somewhere. Generally, when we talk on metaphysical or philosophical topics like this thing, motivation, you will take quote of this fellow from there, quote of this fellow from there. No, nothing. This is all of my own practical experience, born out of my own experiences. So, before I begin on that, I'll narrate to you a very small incident, which at least changed my way of thinking to a very large extent. And my colleagues in that training also concurred with that. In 2018, our batch was called for MCTP, that is Mid-Career Training Program to ISB Hyderabad. Okay. So we were there for 2 weeks, and I'll say one of the 2 most wonderful weeks of my life. Because in the training, they were not teaching us, what should I say, after you have spent 20 years of service, they don't teach you ABC, okay? But there was a topic on motivation, this motivation only. And I can concede that that topic on that particular session on motivation motivated me to do something in this field. Our faculty was one Professor Upadhyay. His weight would not be less than 110 kgs. A very portly fellow, okay? And he was a visiting professor to all the big universities in the world. He was a resident of Varanasi in UP, but he was, I think, to Harvard and all the big names, he was a visitor. Okay, so with great difficulty, ISB people had managed this faculty for us. So this gentleman asked us a question which I'll ask you now. It's a very simple question. Those of you who have heard of this question from me, because I have been asking, Srikanth would be knowing, so you can please keep quiet. Okay? He gave us a simple puzzle. He said, supposing there are 10 employees working with you in an organization, 10. Let us number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that, 9, 10. Okay? 1 and 2 are absolute best workers. 10 out of 10 in our apars. Okay? Absolute. They don't give no for an answer. They do whatever you say them. They absorb everything you say. Okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are middling, average workers. Okay? They do average. Average means average. Okay? And 9 and 10 are absolute nuisances. Absolute nuisance. They'll, for example, in our case, like in Lucknow, they'll write, what should I say, endless complaints. And the complaint, by the way, in Lucknow to begin straight away from Adharaniya Pradhan Mantri Modi ji. They don't start from anything less. So these are the 10 people who you have in your team. Okay? And you have to work with them and get output out of them. Okay? Now your productivity is not that good. So you are under pressure to improve your output. Okay? Now for improving the output, you have to get more out of your team. Okay? Now, The question is, how do you go about increasing the output from this team? Meaning thereby that they deliver more. Now, there could be 2-3 ways. That carrot and stick policy. Okay, that is a very integral part of HR. But given the employees you have, what policy will you adopt to get to propel them to work more so that your output increases, the productivity of the team increases. Okay, so I like some answers. आप बोलो, madam क्या मतलब? My question is, what will you do? I have given you the description of the team members, how they work. They are the way they are. Okay. Now, how do you improve the productivity out of them? What will you do? Can we do one thing? I think we have a mic. And whenever I say, please bring the mic to them.
So, sir, we should focus on more average persons. Average. So, and we should try to tag them better performing. So that they can learn the work and they can start coming in the same league as the better performing people are there. In the meanwhile, other works which have less weightage in the office, that can be given to 9-10 persons. So in a whole.
But madam, serial number 9 and 10 are absolute nuisance. कुछ नहीं करते. They don't want to do anything. I mean, it's very difficult to get any meaningful output out of them. Anyway, you have said what you wanted to say. Anybody else? Faces at the back. You spent long years in service, man. Give me some. How will you increase the output of this team? One and 10. One is not the senior. One is not the senior of 9 and 10. They are all 9. I think I failed to clarify. 1 to 10 are of the same level. Bolo, Pragnesh, what will you do? Acha, Yashwant, you also know that. Upendra, you know that? I've discussed this with you also. Oh my God. Yashwant has not come? Yashwant is there. Fellow. Tell me.
Sir, each office means each member will have a different motivation level, sir. Some will work on just appreciating. Some will work on rewarding something.
Just a minute. I want a straight answer, not a winding answer. What will you do to get more output out of this team? I have given you the team description. Just give me a straight answer. How will you get it?
By techniques of motivation only.
By techniques of motivation. Acha. Anybody else? How will you apply the carrot and stick policy? You come to the point. That's okay. Sir, I say that carrot and stick policy works, but how will you apply the carrot and stick policy here? You tell me.
Incentives for good performers.
Okay,
and punishment for the
number 9 and 10.
9 and 10, sir.
In this house, how many of you believe that given the setup and the absolute, uselessness of the serial number 9 and 10 in the picture, should it not be that an example should be set for the number 1 to 8 by giving exemplary punishment to serial number 9 and 10? By disciplining them, to set examples out of them that if you don't work, you will be punished, you will get this punishment. How many of you are votary of this thought? Nobody. Bolo, speak. Example, set an example.
Because they are the bad example to the department by seeing.
What he is trying to say is that if you don't set an example by trying to discipline them, it is going to set a bad example on the others, and others are going to, migrate towards behaving like that.
Yes, sir.
Your good name? What is your view on this? You are agreeing to this?
Yes, sir. They should be punished.
How many of us, please raise your hands, agree with this view that serial number 9 and 10 should be disciplined so as to set an example for the others? Sridhar, I have asked you this question ever? You are also, oh God. Reddy ji, I want to ask you this question. Huh? I am asking you. Need to be spent. Huh? Spent.
Sir,
Policy. Now please raise your hands in the house. How many of you believe? Raise your hands. So the majority in the house believes that serial number 9 and 10 need to be given some treatment so that an example is set. Come again? Ranking system. As we are ranking the rooms in our office these days, huh? The 3 bottom rooms, the 3 top rooms, like that.
sir, in my view, we should concentrate on what better we can get from 9 and 10 rather than office work.
What better
Can
you
we
can get
get
from 9 and 10?
9 and 10.
Okay.
Rather than punishing him, we want to know whether any other work is there where they can do some.
Okay, you are trying to, what should I say, search for some, what should I, pigments of gold in a big, what should I say, cesspool. Huh?
See, works. See, if 9 and 10 is not willing to work, 9 and 10, if I have limited work in the office, I have some outside work.
Okay.
So I will
do some work for which they are suited. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Means with not well suited, if you find that it is the outside work other cannot do, he can do that work.
Actually, what Maruji is trying to say is that everybody has, even how worst to worst person will have some good points or would have some, what should I say, efficiency in some fields. Identify those fields and attach this person to those fields. Okay. So this is a nutshell. Most of you seem to agree that the productivity of the team would increase if these number 9 and 10 are disciplined so as to set an example for the others 1 to 8, and then the productivity will increase. Huh? And by the way, I was thinking exactly in the same lines. And please believe me, in my career up till then, I had worked on those lines. काम नहीं करेगा, कैसे नहीं करेगा तू काम? I will get work out of you with this attitude. But to my utter surprise, Professor Upadhyay debunked this theory. Well, this is absolute nonsense. This getting output out of teams, it is one of the most researched topics in the world. There are n number of theses on this matter. Okay? And he told us what is the best way to get the team to increase its productivity. It is by incentivizing number 1 and 2. Now you will say, or rather number 1 and 2 are already overworked. Okay, because they are, like for example, even in our organizations, even CCO, though it is by and large very good, but there are certain officers who are the real, what should I say, who are bearing the load. Okay? So a thought will come in your mind that when they are already overloaded, how much can you load them more? Okay. So Professor Upadhyay told us, and I am telling you, that there is no limit to the improvement in human efficiency. If a person is motivated, he can reach for the stars. If a person is motivated, I'll punch this wall and it will fall down. If I am motivated, I'll thump this and make a hole. There is no limit to human motivation. So the proven theories say that you improve the productivity of a team by incentivizing 1 and 2, even though they are already overloaded. You incentivize. You make them feel different. You make them feel they are not superior. Make them feel superior to the others. They will handle double the work they are already doing. They will handle triple the work they are doing. There is no limit to human endeavor. These are proven theories. And coming from that thing, Professor Upadhyay, we had to accept it on face value. So, herein lies the crux of what I am trying to say. Motivate serial number 1 and 2. Motivate. M-O-T-I-V-A-T-I-O-N. This is the key word. It is not a metaphysical or a philosophical topic. No. That is the way we treat it in government offices. But it should not be like that. But a question will come in your mind that how do we motivate in the structured environment we have? This is exactly what I am going to discuss today. How to motivate your officers to work more within the constraints of the system in which we work. Within the constraints of the system which we work. I am now put in 34 years of service. God willing, I'll become principal chief in some time. I'll get the apex scale, 2,25,000. Okay? But I don't have the power of giving increment of rupees 50 to anybody. Whereas in corporate sector, there are no limits. If you are good enough, I mean, you can aim for the stars in terms of remuneration. So this is, you have to understand this thing, that incentivizing those who work is the key, not trying to waste your effort in disciplining the number 9 and 10. Lot of effort goes in disciplining. You will say, but some discipline is needed. Yes, to the extent that you curb their nuisance value, only to that extent. Their nuisance should not become a issue for others. Only to that extent you should devote your effort toward that side. You should devote more of your efforts to serial number 1 and 2. Somebody said that serial number 3 to 8, the average workers, they should also be incentivized. Studies show that putting in effort to get these average workers to give more productivity will yield lesser results. Given the same effort, you put on serial number 1 and 2 to get more output out of them. So with this background, I'll begin today's lecture, and I'll again emphasize that it is specifically meant for our department. And it is the way I see the department. So you can relate it to it. It is not a metaphysical thing. Somebody quoting something, nothing. It is what we do on daily basis. So, please. Can't I have that controller in my hand? Is it possible? There is a toggle type thing, na? Full screen. Right. Full screen. How do we make the full screen? So employee motivation. Okay. I have discussed this still for the sake. I'll repeat it fast. This is a motivation is a need or desire that causes a person to act, to take initiative, or to be enterprising, in short, to do better. How you do better. The drive in you. Well discussed. Everybody understands that. Motivation is the driving force behind our behavior at workplace. You see, in my view, as we need fuel, petrol or diesel in the morning to start our vehicles, run our vehicles, the same way we need motivation to work. It is as important as that. Why motivation? Without motivation, we cannot achieve anything. We will have no goalpost to aim for. Only motivated individuals have changed the world. A very important thing. World changers, those people who have changed the world, have always been very motivated. Single aim, single drive. कुछ करना है. It comes from inside. Come what may in my path, I will outpace it. I will go over it, by the side of it, but I will achieve. Come what may. The force inside you that pushes you to do this thing, to excel against all odds, against any odds, that is motivation. Motivation sets priorities in life. It helps achieve our goals. I think this is very simple to understand. Then motivation helps push through setbacks. Now this is very important. You see, in your path, even day-to-day work, you will keep on getting setbacks. You made a report, okay, the boss rejected it. And not in addition to that, also said a few very curt words. Jaise kaam nahi karta hai, ye or something like that. Or sometimes his expression himself, that itself says everything. You need not shout. Okay. But if the motivation is there, you'll go back to your seat or your chamber or whatever the case may be and think over it as to what is there that I did wrong. The motivation in you will drive you to find the cause, remove the cause, and next time around, do it better. If you are not motivated, you will say, "Arey, it is so difficult to please him. He will never like whatever I may do. However hard I may work, he can never be satisfied." If you are motivated, your feeling will be different. Motivation teaches perseverance. What is perseverance? Perseverance is to be on the job. Despite odds, keep on trying to push that thing. Not getting detached from that. I think ACs need some, maybe they need some reconditioning, huh? Motivation builds self-confidence. The more the motivation, the more the self-confidence. Motivation is directly proportional to self-confidence. The more motivated you are, you will have more self-confidence. It will show on your face. Our face is the biggest reflection of what we are from inside. You may not realize it, but experienced personnel are able to judge you by your expressions. You may have heard of something called face reading. There are experts who can get what goes on in your inside you just by reading your face. Okay? In Hindi they say, चेहरा आईना होता है. It's a mirror of your inside. Motivation inspires others, obviously. If I am motivated, if the team leader is motivated, his juniors will automatically be motivated. अरे भाई साहब बहुत काम करता है, या Mr. X बहुत काम करते हैं, and I am in his team. You will find being in his team a matter of pride. Oh, that I am with him and not with him, other fellow who is not that motivated. I hope you people are trying to relate to the topic. Now, how to motivated employees help an organization, in our case, the GST and the customs? Motivated employees help organizations achieve short-term and long-term goals. Obvious, that's quite obvious. Yeah, Muhammad Ali, it is getting very boring. You need a cup of tea? Huh? Goal achievement. You be motivated, your goals will come to you running. You don't have to go to the goal will come to you. The quality of output increases, obviously. The employees are content with their working lives and thus the absenteeism is lower. Now this is very important. You see, absenteeism, we have an issue, not with most of us, but with some of us. Very few times we realize the need to find out the reason as to why Mr. X or Y or Z is abstaining most of the time. If, for example, 10 people are abstaining in an organization of, say, 100, 2 of them will have some very genuine reasons. Most of these reasons are related to your body itself. Your body is not functioning well enough. But other 8, they will have some reasons related to, like, there is no enthusiasm from inside. They don't feel like attending to work. They don't feel any, that if they go to the workplace, they do anything, they write something, they do something, they feel as to Why I am doing this? What is the output? What is the objective? What is the objective? But if you will be motivated, you won't have that feeling. Obviously, the other stakeholders will be more satisfied. Every boss wants motivated subordinates, but the boss forgets that it is upon him to motivate the juniors. Okay, I'll come to this topic later. By the way, whatever I'm saying here is most related to middle management level. I have always maintained that it is the joint and the additional commissioner level in our offices, which is the most important. Joint and the additional commissioner level, most of you in the second row, your role is the most important. You are the link between the juniors and the seniors. When does an employee feel motivated? उसे कब लगता है कि मैं motivated हूं? What are the indications? One, when he feels that he is making a contribution. This is important. You come in the morning, you stay till the evening, okay? You make some reports, you did this. It's okay. But if you don't get the feeling that I have done something towards a cause, for example, let's say MPR. Okay. Now MPR, I think in the division level it is made, whereas in the commission it is made, where in CSU we only validate it. Okay. So I think MPR is not the correct example. Let's talk of a adjudication order. Okay. Now some Subran Sahab has drafted a thing. Okay. And the adjudicating authority is very satisfied. Okay. He goes through it and lifts his, what should I say, face from the text and smiles and says, well done. That is when you feel that you have made a contribution. This making of an adjudication order or drafting of an adjudication order is only an example. There are several ways where you can make a direct contribution. Now since we have to relate it to our working, I ask you, where can you think in this department we can make a direct contribution? Please, ACs, DCs, I'll ask you, where do you feel you can make a direct contribution? Please, Jaganmohan. I always thought you were that man, you were that way. When we know case, okay, you briefed the departmental counsel so well that he won against his opponent who was paid 10 times over. That's. This is a great feeling of satisfaction. Let me tell you, winning a departmental case against an opponent who, I mean, the advocates of the other side being 10 times paid or 20 times paid, and we in our case, our advocates are not only ill paid, they are late paid. So there are ways and means. Somebody at the back, how do you think you can make a contribution? He gave 2 examples. You please tell me. Subhadra madam, please tell me. You don't have to get up. That's it. That is Subhadra I know from Hyderabad days. A perfect answer, 10 on 10, ma'am. Ma'am, in DRI, when do you feel you make a contribution? Book a case. Madam, cases you make, Arika nuts, that's all. Please make a solid appraisement case. Somebody else, this is important because I'm trying to relate this thing to us. Our day-to-day working. How do we? Tell me. I'm asking you. He said, because you see, as far as I feel, the one area where the department has failed miserably for all the 34 years I've been around is the areas. Okay. The best we can do is write off, and that's a procedure so long that most of us don't even want to look towards that. How many write-offs do you think happen in our whole department in a year? Can somebody give an idea? How many write-offs? Small amount only. How many write-offs? Not more than 50 per year in the whole of the department. So you just enumerated the ways and means where you feel you have made a contribution. So don't feel, most of us suffer from this feeling that in this department there is no scope for making a contribution. No! You can make a contribution on daily basis. Identify your strengths and work hard towards it. But you do all this only when that comes from inside. कुछ करना है. When he earns the pay of his superiors, oh my God, 90% of us, 90% or maybe 95% of us have spent all their lives without getting even one pat on the back from his immediate superior. Am I wrong? I am asking the old timers, पीछे जो बैठा है तुम बोलिए. Am I wrong? Most of the life you have spent without getting even one praise from your superiors. Am I wrong? अरे vocal cords क्या भाई बोलो ना. Is a fact? I said 95%. You have that lucky 5%. Anyway, 95% may be an exaggeration, but I am quite sure that most of us have spent most of our life still searching for that elusive praise from that boss who never smiles, who never gets up, who never pats your back. Most of us are like that. Yashwant, you are smiling. When we earn the respect of colleagues and peers, that is all what we look for all the time. Respect. RESPECT, 18 font, bold, underlined. Italicized also. Okay? That is what we look for. Recognition. How is Yashwant better than Dhruv? Not in his eyes, in the eyes of his superior. That is the thing. By the way, thinking that I am X is superior to Y amounts to self-certification. That X is superior to Y can only be certified by Z, Z being the boss. So please, for God's sake, some of us have this habit of being smart. I am so better than the other. Who the hell are you to decide that, man? It can only be decided by your superior. One of the most, what should I say, easy to reckon ways of being certified superior, X of being superior to Y would be the APAR gradings. No. In our department, no. I am sorry to say, APAR gradings depend largely to the relationship you had with your boss. Srikanth is already looking forward to a 10 from me. Because he told me he is very clever. Sir, last 5 of us have been 10s. Now he has shifted the onus on me. Because if his 5 earlier bosses have given him 10, then there's something has got to be wrong with me not to give him the 10 the 6th time. When he's informed of the happenings, now this is very important. You see, this is not a small thing. The boss keeping the juniors in the loop of what is going on. Please emphasize on that. That's very important. I am telling you the middle management level. I did not become a chief commissioner straight away. I have gone through the grind. Okay? I am telling you. You are the teeth of the department, I am telling you. Teeth. We keep on saying that superintendents are the teeth. They are the teeth as far as the taxpayers are concerned. But within the departmental functioning, you are the teeth. Please keep your juniors informed. If not all, in our department, in very small or other in very limited aspects, we work on need to know basis. You know, need to know. What is the need to know? We are not working in, it may be in DRA or DGJ, I don't know. But in our conventional central sales commissionerate or GST commissionerate or a conventional customs commissionerate, keep the juniors in loop. What's going on? If not all of them, at least some of them. It feels, the junior feels very important. When he says, "Saab mere ko kuch bola, saab mere ko kuch bataya. You told me that this is going to happen. This is the plan. This is what you are working for." Learn to keep your juniors in the loop. This also is dependent upon ACs, DCs. The superintendents under you, need to keep them in the loop. If not all of them, some of them. When he has meaningful and interesting work. You see, meaningful and interesting. So I have added here, but I have my own reservations. But the work we have is the work we have. Okay? It depends upon us whether we treat it as meaningful or not. We don't get to decide the work which comes to us. Am I right? Now I'll come to the seniors. It's my experience that it is the commissioner level on which lies the onus, the maximum onus of providing motivation. This is my personal feeling. The commissioners and above, motivation can be provided at any level. Pradmesh can be motivated to his immediate junior. He can be to his junior, that's all. But providing motivation as an organization, the maximum onus lies on JS rank, that is Joint Secretary rank and above. Without a responsive higher administration, no organization can motivate its employees towards better performance. The top administration has to be responsive. It cannot be one-way traffic. The higher administration has to, I hope you understand, responsive. Be responsive to the problems of the juniors. Be responsive to the constraints of the juniors. Be responsive to the working conditions of the juniors. Be responsive to their family problems. I'll give you a small example. Man management, you said. Man management. Man management is a, what should I say, is a small circle in the larger universe of motivation. Always remember that serial number 1 and 2, which we discussed. Serial number 1 and 2, we discussed that, and they have to be motivated. I'll come to techniques of motivation later, but I can tell you right now, at least know about them, their families, their sons and daughters. How are they doing? What are they doing? Okay. If the son is good in studies or the daughter is good in studies, okay, and the employee is feeling low, you should know how to motivate him. Arey bhai, how is your son doing? He's earning currency notes, man. Your bank balance is full. Just stay, and this employee will simply forget his, what should I say, whatever reason he's feeling down. I am telling you, the children are the softest spots of us, of all of us. Softest spots, I'm telling you. The best man managers, they know what is the weak spot of the junior, and they know how to rub it the right way. Generally, we rub the wrong way, but here, there, they know how to rub the right way. You get my point? May I give some practical examples that will help you? We have an employee, our superintendent N. Aparna. She is the superintendent with us. Both her children have cracked the IITs. Okay? Obviously, that's a great point for her. Is it not? Okay? She's a hard worker. So as to keep on patting her, once in a while I keep on saying, so ma'am, I think last night you were awake the whole night counting the currency notes. Sir, my son's husband is not earning that much money. I never meant your husband's earnings. I always meant you children's learnings, madam. These are small things, but they carry a message. Human resource branch of any organization has to be closely associated and related to its employees. In the name of human resources, we have what is called admin. Huh? That's why I've said, nah. In government organization, the concept of human resources has not developed. Whereas if you would be knowing, your friends would be in corporate sectors, HR means a lot of activities. Organizing picnics on New Year, okay, Diwali Mela, Holi Mela, okay. From the side of the organization, okay, children's meet, okay, felicitating the children. We also do to a limited extent, but they do much more. Now I come to the most important part. This is all the background. Now, how to motivate? Yeah, that's all good, sir. Pratmesh is thinking this is a lecture, but how to motivate? What exactly should we do? Now, I'll explain this by giving you practical examples. Okay, so that you can relate to them directly. Now, extra increments or out of turn pay rises are regarded the world over as the prime means to raise motivation levels of deserving employees. However, this is not feasible in a government department like ours. How do you motivate? You are happy, you reward him. You reward him by giving an increment. But here, if I become principal chief, forget me. Even the cabinet secretary, the head of the bureaucracy, cannot award a 50 rupee increment to his junior. Simply not provided for. Whereas, in the corporate culture, if the word goes around, by the evening your salary could double. So, what is recognized the world over, you see, the government organizations form a very little proportion of the total workforce. Most of it is corporate. So, what rules there or what is applicable there should be applicable to us also. But sadly, we can't do anything about this. Out of turn promotion to deserving employees. However, again, this is not feasible in a government department like ours, at least at the lower levels, since promotions are strictly as per seniority. I am stating the obvious to all of you that you know. Can we ever think of out-of-turn promotions? No way. It is only now that we have started getting some selection posts. For example, members of our board. They are not strictly as per seniority. They are selection posts. So, there they get out-of-turn promotions, but that is too little and too late. At that higher level, how to apply to the middle level is a conundrum, is a puzzle, not easy to break. And in any case, all those who have done public ad or learned about it, one of the signs of bureaucracy is inertia. Doesn't like change. It likes to continue the way it is. But this is the welcome change. It is possible that 20 years from now, so Shivaji, you agree with me? 20 years from now, selection thing could happen at lower levels also. It looks impossible today, but it may happen tomorrow. Now, this is important. How we motivate? You have to tell your juniors exactly what you want. Please don't be ambiguous yourself. Half the time, the bosses themselves are not clear what they want. Supposing if you want to, let us come to the adjudication order. That is my favorite in any case. But you tell your junior or superintendent or inspector or whomsoever you rely upon, "Arey bhai, what do you want?" You'll be astonished to know there are some bosses who will get the juniors to make order bosses, confirming the demand and dropping the demand. Then they go through it and which they think better, they'll do it. Arey bhai, don't you believe it? I have seen examples. The superintendent sahab will make both. Whatever sahab will like. Why make him do double the work when in the same effort he could have cleared 2 adjudication orders? So be very clear. Please pay attention to my words. Please be very clear what you want from your juniors. Be very clear. There should be no ambiguity. ऐसा बना के लाओ, ऐसा करो. Supposing now, adjudication order is a very limited example. Let's talk of reports. In any case, IRS is Indian Reporting Service. Okay, reports. If a report is not coming to you, luckily over the years, Sridhar will agree with me, Reddy ji will agree with me, that now increasingly we are getting formats in which we have to submit the report to the board. Even in parliament questions in our days, simple the question will come and you have to answer it. These days, it comes very clearly A, B, C, D, what you have to answer. In our days, it was not like that. Not that our days are over, I am still very much around. But it used to be that way. So if some ad hoc report is to go, please be very clear. The boss has to take the pains of ADG Sahab has to take the pains, or he needs the Commissioner Sahab has to take the pains of making a format or discussing a format. Please make report in this format. Otherwise, the junior will make the report as per his thinking, and then you will not be satisfied with it. Why have you made this like this, and this is not required, and this is too much of detail, or this is too brief? No. You should have thought of it beforehand. So please pay attention to some ad hoc report beforehand. Discuss it with your juniors. Discuss the format. So there is no duplication of effort. I hope I am being clear. What other examples I could give you of being clear? Adjudication order I have said. Ad hoc reports I have said. Booking a case. Okay. When you go book a case, you get several points. 1, 2, 3, several points. Irregular ITC, misclassification, lower valuation. Okay. But not all the points will be equally potent. Now, the stage of, you see, we generally start deciding about the show cause notice, the structure of the show cause notice much in advance. Okay. What point should be added? Because not every point is going to be good enough. What is to be added to decide beforehand. If you want to include all the points, be very clear that all the 6 points have to be included. Clarity. Clarity in your mind, clarity on your face, clarity in your expression, clarity in what you say. Believe me, the biggest problem we have in our department is that the boss is not clear what he wants out of his juniors. However, there are other means of motivating. Other means also there. For example, most important is to recognize outstanding work, and the recognition has to be in public. I can't see Cooper here. Oh my God, we are tucked away way at the bottom, behind. Recognize outstanding work. Recognition. This is all what we all crave for. You may state that overtly, or you may prefer to stay quiet. But the fact is, each one of us is hungry for recognition. The superintendent, inspectors from their commissioner, the commissioner from their board members, and the board members from the RS. The chain goes on. Recognition. Please recognize the need of recognition that your junior, after having done hard work, okay, You cannot give him increment. You cannot give him out of turn promotion. You can recognize his work. And please, for God's sake, recognize work in public. Okay. Supposing, for example, you remember our audit commissioner had got first rank in the last financial year. Okay. We gave the credit to the then commissioner. Name? Goel. Rishi Goel. Okay. He immediately delegated the recognition to his juniors. Sir, it's a combined effort. Not only that, I mean, there can be a number of examples, man. If some report is appreciated, the ADC goes to the commissioner with the report or with the draft. Listen. Let's talk of the draft of a letter to be written to the board. The draft is very good. Okay. Most of the times you know. But still, if it is by some inspector sahab or superintendent sahab, call him and tell him in front of his immediate superiors, I am very happy with you. Excellent draft. Learn to praise the work of your juniors. Okay. By praising the work, you are not going to get any smaller. Be liberal with your praise. Most of us think, what does he need? He is getting paid. And so for that matter, even you are getting paid. What's the big deal? Learn to recognize and learn to recognize in public. Recognition in public and reprimand in private. Now let us talk of the other aspect also. Sometimes you have to do a bit of disciplining also. Not every time your junior will do quality work, but we have to send some quality work. You need to reprimand. Do it one-to-one. Never humiliate a middle management officer in front of his juniors. Never do that mistake. He immediately loses the respect of his juniors. Immediately loses. बड़े साहब तो डांट दिए इनको तो हमको क्या है? Something like that. This is very important. Please embrace this in your working. Recognition in public and reprimand in private. In a closed room, you say anything you like to him. And one more thing. There has never been any need to shout. The most effective disciplining, other than the disciplinary orders, is never by shouting. It is by saying it in simple words that I expected better out of you. You are capable of much better things. Some bosses have the habit of shouting. It never helps. If you have to express your displeasure, do it in private, and you can do it with simple words. Improve infrastructure. Yeah, the computer the guy has, or the printer he has, that laser printer, the ink has come down, and you are shouting at him. The printout is too faded. I mean, what is the guy's fault? The general branch should have given him, or he should have taken from the general branch. This is a very crude example. For example, tables, chairs, almirahs. Let's have a decent office. It matters. The big sahib is very happy in his well provided for room, but even the juniors need decent infrastructure, not luxurious, decent. At least be alive to that need, that your juniors need good infrastructure. Be alive to that need. Canteen should be there. Luckily, in our days it was not so. Canteens were a rarity. Canteens were there with the departmental formations only in big cities, Bombay, Delhi, like that. Slowly the thing has spread. It is surprising that in Vizag, the crush is coming up now. We have been a zone for the last 20 years, 22 years, and we don't have a crush. It's a bloody need of working mothers. In fact, our survey showed that it was the fathers who wanted the crush more than the ladies. It's a bloody need. Ladies' room, We did up a ladies' room recently. Driver's room. Now the thing has gone out of fashion because you see, earlier we used to have all government vehicles, all drivers. They didn't have a room to rest. They were always sleeping or whiling away the time within the vehicle. Why would they are human beings, man? They are also salaried employees of the same employer like you. Be alive to their need. Better rooms, air conditioning, well-lit corridors, drinking facilities, toilets. Oh. Toilets. Let's once in a while go to the common toilets. I'll tell you, sometimes the condition, things have improved by the way. In our days, things were so bad that supposing you have to call answer the call of nature, the bigger one, you will be in a dilemma. What to do? Such bad was the condition. I have myself gone to my home, which was near to my office, to relieve myself. In my AC days when we did not have exclusive rooms with an attached toilet. So please be alive to these needs. These are basic needs. Junior level employees go through this trauma and that leads directly to lack of motivation. क्या ऑफिस है? Basic facilities नहीं है. Why should I work hard? When they don't take care of me, why should I take care of them? So they all make a difference. Rewards. Here the commissioner level is the most important. Because in our commissionerates, rewards are given if the commissioner wants it. If he is of that mindset. Rewards are not given if he is not inclined to sanction rewards. Reward is a policy. A well laid down policy. With a well laid down set of do's and don'ts and circumstances when to give and not to give. Your duty bound to it. Rewards as an important tool has been recognized in our APARs also. There is a separate row, rewards. But most of us don't even fill it properly. Audit. In audit, the power of giving rewards has specially been delegated to the Joint Commissioner, Additional Commissioner. They can reward, whereas it is not so in other cases. So please be liberal with the rewards. In all deserving cases, rewards should be processed and sanctioned. That you don't have the funds doesn't matter. Funds will come sooner or later. But should not be saying so. But several senior officers think as if the money is going out of their own pocket. It's not so. Why rewards are given so liberally in DGJ and DRI? And why are they not given in our central preventives? They have done the same work. In fact, I give central preventive officers much more credit than the DGGI and DRI because they do much more focused work. Whereas the central preventives, in addition to booking cases, they have to do so many miscellaneous ones also. Though, slightly, I think you also people are also not giving too many reports and all. That thing is getting diluted. But still, they have much more focused work to do. But rewards are always given. If somebody goes to, some superintendent has gone to DGGI in 5 years, he'll get 10, 20, 15 lakh rewards. But he remains in central preventive, he won't get 2 lakhs. Why is this difference? They book rewards, they book cases, you book cases, they get recoveries, you get recoveries. So please be liberal with rewards, especially the audit sections. This is something we should have. Punctuality. We have got a biometric. But somebody comes, is punctual. How you distinguish him with the others who are not punctual? If somebody comes at 10 dot or whatever starting time is, I think it is 9:45 a.m. What is the schedule time, madam? You know, Subhadra madam? 9:15. Oh my God! Then I myself am coming late. 9:15 to quarter to 6. So punctuality should be rewarded in some way. If nothing else, at least appreciating that in public, he is very punctual. Please read this very carefully. I'll read this out for you. Involve juniors, at least your immediate juniors, in some decision making. Some decision making, if not all. Listen to everybody. Everybody concerned patiently before arriving at crucial decisions. And most importantly, mind your every decision is not crucial. Your every decision is not going to shake the world. Don't be under this impression. Most of the decisions we take are customary decisions. They are not earth shakers. Don't think that you are a super VIP taking a decision. No. Involve your juniors, immediate juniors at least. One of the biggest attributes of successful administrators is there used to be Mr. Dharamveer, who was a very senior IAS of yesteryears. Very famous. You can Google him. Somebody asked him, what is the reason for your success? He answered, I listen very patiently to everyone and then I take a decision. But most of our bosses are very curt. They'll cut the junior short immediately when he's saying something. And a junior will also have some input. Take that input. Whether you finally involve that input in the work or not is your decision. But at least give the satisfaction to the junior that he was heard. Encourage new ideas. Now, how do we get new ideas in government sector? Very difficult. Not at all, Pratmesh. Don't say like this. We started a new thing. We have a Swachhata week. We do it for 15 days, I think 2 times a year. And then we forget all about it. Somebody here gave me an idea. Let us start this. A monthly survey of the rooms. And list out the 3 top rooms and the 3 bottom rooms. And let it be the surveying team should have an independent member. So we involved some NGO guy. He came out with very, what should I say, scientifically designed parameters. Okay. And on the basis of that, each room is surveyed and then we get 3 top rooms, 3 bottom rooms. We are trying to ensure that none of the rooms ranked among the 3 bottom rooms figures in the next month. This is an idea. Somebody gave it to me. We implemented that. Are you getting the point? The thinking that in government sector no new ideas are required or the ideas don't work, the very thinking is faulty. You can involve new ideas only when you think that it can be in the first place. Give credit where it is due. Something equivalent to what we have just said. That recognition in public. That is the same thing. Give credit wherever it is due. Don't be your commissionerate gets the best commissioner award somewhere and you take it all. No, immediately from the stage itself. You should immediately tell that the credit is to be distributed amongst all. Not only that, if there are certain officers who you think should be named, name them then and there. Even more, if they are present in the audience, call them to the stage. Very important. Only I can do everything. Only I am a repository of all the good work. You are not. Everybody is capable. Everybody has cleared the same exam. Everybody is capable. Provided you give them the opportunity to prove that. Delegate. Give delegate responsibility. Okay. And believe in your juniors. Believe in them. He can do work. They can. So have belief in your juniors. Oh, provide feedback. Now I'll come to something which I implemented myself. We have appraisal here, one-way appraisal. The boss appraises you. In corporate sector, it is 360-degree appraisal. So you would have heard that in our select postings at the top level, 360 degrees is done. But that is in very limited posts. Whereas my daughter tells me that as a group leader, she is appraised by her juniors, her peers, and of course her seniors. 360 degree. But we don't have it. So I started that. Some of my juniors who are trustworthy, and I trust them that they will not be needlessly buttering me and like that, who can call a spade a spade. I always will give. I have my own parameters. This year I will give second the opportunity to write it for me. Let me see now. And I have to beforehand give him the confidence that if he writes something bitter, I should not get bitter with him. I should be able to stomach criticism. Dil bada rakho. If you trust him or trust him, believe in his feedback. The capacity to stomach criticism is one of the most important but most rare capacities. In Hindi, there is a very famous saint called Goswami Tulsidas. He wrote Ramcharitmanas. He has written in Ramcharitmanas, Nindak nire rakhiye, Aangan kuti chhadaye. What it means? Nindak. Keep your criticizer by your side. Aangan kuti chhadaye. He should have a room in your backyard. Bin sabun pani bina nirmal kare subhaye. Meaning that he will neither use soap, not anything else, cleaning agent, but will make your being very liberal. निंदक नियरे राखिए, आंगन कुटी छबाए, बिन साबुन पानी बिना निर्मल करे सुभाए. Learn to handle criticism. I will advise the middle management level. Try this once. If you believe in me, try it once. This year, I think 31st of March will come very fast. Then the time will come. 15 days you have to write your thing, resume. Then 31st May, the reporting. 31st July, reviewing, like that. Try this. Amongst the various sections you handle, you will have some juniors whom you trust. Trust about not only doing good work, trust about giving you the right feedback. Whom you know will not, he'll do buttering and all. No. Design a format of parameters on which you want yourself rated. You can borrow the parameters from some from your path and some from your own thinking. Be conscious of your weak points. Be conscious of your weak point or what you think are your weak points. Make that weak point a parameter and find out for sure whether it is your weak point in the eyes of your juniors or not. How can you decide about yourself all the time? You need somebody to tell you that this is your weak point. Either your boss should tell you. I'll give you an example. When I was young, when I joined the service, I was all of 25. Okay. So, always the fire was burning in me. Always shouting, moving from section to section. I became a divisional DC and made life hell for everybody. Suddenly I'll get up from my seat, move to one section. Why is he not there? Even if he's gone to the toilet, I'll start him. What are you doing? This and that. I had a boss by name, Mr. Rajesh Kumar, 1979 batch. So he was sitting in a headquarter at some distance. He called me one day. He told me, Ki Rathi, you are very edgy all the time. You're on the move. You're always shouting. This way, you will develop BP by 30 and you will do your off by 50. Learn to channelize your energy. This is the advice he gave me. This is your energy, unspent energy, which is coming out in unproductive or other destructive ways. Learn to channelize your energy. I am thankful to Ajay Kumar sir even till this date. He asked me what you like. Or rather, I think he got a feedback that I was able to do good drafting. Then he started doing one thing. You don't get your inspector or superintendent to write your orders. Have the orders you dictate. He gave me the best steno. And he took the pains of seeing my orders for 3 months. And then when he thought that I had learned to channelize my energies, then he came to a stop. Learn to channelize your energies. That's important. So coming back to feedback, try this for once. Cases from the superintendents and inspectors, okay. ADCs from the ACs and superintendents, go at least one step and one step below that. You would be knowing some people whom you trust. Try this. You will be surprised at the results, provided they have given you the correct feedback, provided you have convinced them that you will not be bitter with them, provided they give the feedback, in case they have given a feedback which is not palatable to you. So Shrikant, I can believe in you. You'll call a spade a spade. What? To college? Are certain, I am telling you, you are right. Lecture, at the end of the lecture, we have to give a feedback on several parameters. Such good habits we had in college. Such good habits. And we came to this bureaucracy and became monsters, I am telling you. Absolute monsters. So try this thing. And I am telling you, you will be surprised at the results, because at the end of it all, you will become humble. Now, after so many years of service, at least 10 years of getting feedbacks, I can say with authority that whatever may be the circumstances, whatever may be the crisis, I will never shout. Which I always used to do when I was a divisional AC DC or even up to the JC level. Flaring up is self-destructive. It eats you from inside. Get my point? I hope you are trying to relate to what I am saying. Trainings. I cannot overemphasize the need of trainings. One training, as I told you, which I had at ISB, changed my outlook. Training means the most important in training, as I understand, is the faculty you get here. There is one Mr. Lieutenant General Atta Hasnan. You heard of him? He was the army commander in J&K. He's a very prolific speaker. And at Nation Faidabad, they had called him for something. Okay. When the training was over, it was on some topic I don't know. I was burning from inside to ask him one question, but I was very afraid. Though I was a commissioner rank, but I was afraid. But anyway, I gathered courage at the end of the lecture. And when he was moving out, I moved with him. Sir, can I? Well, yes. But sir, a question, sir, which you may not like. You know what? No, come. We'll have a cup of tea. So he took me to his guest room or whatever. Okay. Now, ask the question. And ask him a very controversial question. A very controversial question. And I said, sir, you are in Jammu and Kashmir. and you are a Muslim by religion, sir, does your being a Muslim make things difficult for you? Is that not a controversial question? I'm asking a damn Lieutenant General who's fighting the terrorists. These people in the army, in these regions, they fight with their arms tied to the back. This cannot be done. This cannot be done. Human rights, this, that. Are the terrorists taking human rights into consideration? They know. But the answer he gave me, that was a prime example of a settled gentleman. Settled means who knows about things. He's seen life. Okay, he settled about everything. He answered me, why do you think it is a controversial question? It's a very factual question. And he said, yes. If you remember, there's a very, I don't know, that was film was in Hindi, Mission Kashmir. Have you heard of that? Sanjay Rathi was a Muslim IG. So, Prime Minister's visit is arranged to the Kashmir at height of terrorism. And I think the Home Secretary calls him and tells him that because you are being a Muslim, we cannot trust you for preempt security. What answer he gives? That is, I mean, some of you will definitely Google and see Mission Kashmir, come to that portion. The answer he gives. So coming to trainings, Ravi, someday will tell you, but all I can say in brief is, trainings are very important. Take training seriously. And my request to the training institutes is, get the best of faculty, please. Get the best of faculty. I think today you have more and more liberty to call people from outside. Hai na? Now several small gestures can make a huge difference. Choti cheezein, they make a lot of difference. Small things. Like, I'll give you a practical example. What we are doing on a daily basis. Greeting every employee on his or her birthday. Whose phone is this? What has he done? Greeting every employee on his or her birthday. How many of the bosses even know when their favorite junior has his birthday? They don't know. And how much of an effort does it take? You have to get your PS to make a list of birthdays in a chronological order. Okay. They'll have to remind you one day before, or as a matter of practice, delegate it to somebody. Make a simple pamphlet. This is to greet you on birthday. Happy birthday. You may have a fine year and this and that. Sign it and give it with a stock roll stick. Simple. The day it happens, the fellow feels so good. Am I wrong? Shrikant? You felt good that day? We followed in the CCO. I have followed it for the last 20 years. Last 20 years. When I was in Hyderabad and orderly ADC. Don't mind the use of word orderly. Still I used to do it. Because it helps. That your boss at least remembers when your birthday is. It takes 5 minutes of your time. Only 5 minutes. And literally no expenditure. The thing is, जब साहब का बर्थडे है तो केक कटेगा. It's okay. Nothing bad in that. I don't mean bad. It's all okay. But even the juniors, they deserve some recognition. That's my point. You do whatever you want to do with your bosses. But even a Havaldar deserves a simple greeting card. Listen, let's get out of our bureaucratic mindset. I should think we should start changing our mindset to the extent we can within our limitation of bureaucracy. Try this. Let's see how it goes. Celebrate success. Very simple. They should be success at two levels. Success of the employee, success of the children. Success of the employee means, supposing somebody gets a President's Award, in any case, we will celebrate that. Okay. Even minor things, yeah. He took part in the local Hindi wala competition and got something. That Nagar Sabha which does, no? There is a Nagar Sabha. That level of competition it wins. Call him and congratulate him in room, in your room. Celebrate success. Somebody's child, I am telling you, the children are the weakest spots. Weakest spots. If somebody's child has cracked, say, some high level exam, got into NEET or something like that, call that child to the office. By the child, the father will feel proud as if his heart would burst out. Be part of their family happiness and sorrows. Please always attend their family marriages and especially deaths. Once in a while, somebody father passes away, somebody's mother passes away. Make it a point to go to their houses and commiserate with them. Other things also, which we are implementing in Vizag, our own Vizag here. Conducive environment. By an extension of your life is your house where you live. And why should it be a pain for you if you live in a government colony, man? Central revenue colonies generally have been very mal-administered, generally, not this place. But you can always make it better. At least pay attention to that. So we took some decisions and today just see what our Sandals colony looks like. I have myself seen young couples coming in there for photography. We provided better security. We provided there was a huge drinking water issue. It took, Pradmesh knows it hardly took us any effort. Matter was solved. One day what happened, I think the type 3 and type, say, so many gents and ladies, they came to my house. Are bhai, such is the situation in a central revenue colony. This is we did. One of the things which we have done here is, we have taken up the education of the underprivileged children. Okay. Today in Vizag, we are teaching 50 students and all. Just see the faces of the contingents, casual workers. They are satisfied. Even these underpaid employees, they have dreams for the children. They won't like their children to be doing what they are doing, cleaning the toilets and bringing to the sahibs and all. I hope you get my point. And I am thankful to all those who are contributing here. We are doing this at a much larger stage at Lucknow. And in any case, I am going to take it to a very... This is going to be my epitaph. Epitaph, you understand? Epitaph. You've seen a tombstone? Mr. John lived here like that. And he liked this or disliked this. So, focus on health. We have that, what should I say, once a year, for which get 2,000 rupees. Huh? 2,000 rupees, how much of test can you get done? In 2,000 rupees. Where, how do you get yourself tested? Very difficult. And who will take care of the contingent lady who takes care of you the whole day? Who makes tea for you, cleans your toilet, okay, serves you food at lunchtime, okay, provides you water to you. Don't we owe it to her? I think we owe it to them. Have a heart, man, have a heart. Have your heart that beats and a mind that thinks. To be organized health camps. Every health camp I have found hitherto undetected cases of diabetes. Diabetes, I think you know, India is the diabetes capital of the world right now. Every time you will find, and it is a silent killer. I'll give you examples from those people to which my officers from Hyderabad background can relate. Subhadra would know, and that Sundari, I think she's not come here today. They will know. I held a health camp. When I was additional commissioner, by the way, I'm telling you, when I was the mayor additional commissioner, Shidhar would know. He was with me at there. And in a building, Bashir Bagh building of 7 floors, where there was a chief commissioner and four commissioners, I think, and commissioner be separate. A mayor ADC was organizing a health camp. And I knew several commissioners were not happy with that. I learned a commissioner was telling somebody, ये राठी अपने आप को समझता क्या है? Is there to समझो और ना समझो भाई? It's a bloody need. Our human body is our greatest strength and the weakest thing at the same time. One test, one report, one wrong indicator, and your life turns upside down. Your life can turn topsy-turvy so fast. So what do? What is fated will happen? No. That is why we have that 2,000 rupees thing. But that is grossly inadequate. Actually, you can take care of yourself. What about those casual workers and all who are working for you daily? So organize a health camp. If there is a will, you can organize it. I'm telling you. I've been doing it when I was a ADC. Why can't we do it? Once I found that people were not very, what should I say, open to this idea, or they were hesitant. So I went to my chief commissioner, BB Prasad Sahab used to be the chief commissioner. With great effort, I had organized the health camp and also a ECG. Okay, where you have to lie down, open this, and electrodes are fitted. I had a very supportive. He is the best boss I've had in my life, BB Prasad Sahab. Why they are not coming? Let's go. He opened his shirt and lay down on his chest, start the ECG. When the news spread that even the chief commissioner has come, oh my God, the line started building up. Here we had a huge response. 316 people. Once a year health camp is my commitment. Not to you all, where I have to say, here you people are much more conscious of your health. This I have seen. Much more conscious of your health as compared to the north. There people are very negligent. Focusing on health, we have, by the way, blood pressure measuring camps. Now you will say, why do you need a blood pressure measuring camp? But the simple reason, because the Omron machine you have at home is prone to give you erroneous readings. You can Google that also. Plus minus 5 or 10 is their normal error range. Re Babu, between 90 and 100, everything changes here. It is a given fact endorsed by all the doctors that a mercury sphygmomanometer, it's a tongue twister, this name, sphygmomanometer, something like that. It is the best way to get a correct reading. So that is why we are doing it. And we have found some people here constantly high readings. Why, bhai? Please take care of yourself. Your families are aged and settled. Someday something will happen, you will be off in 10 minutes. What will happen of your family? Think of them. So focus on wealthy health check, regular diabetes testing we do. Health camps for officers and for employees. It's a gradual process. Not given the constraints we have, the constraints of the funds we have, and our brethren at CPWD who work at their own pace, things will change. They are changing and they will change gradually. We need nice workplace. It motivates you. The morning you come, one melody in the north. Melody, you understand? In the north is that gutka thing. Like that. Every corner you will find red, red, red. Freshly painted, next day it is red. At least by the grace of God, that's not a problem at this end. So we have now, by doing this top three, top bottom rooms, tried to inculcate a spirit of, what should I say, competition. And we can also improve only gradually. Suppose if we take one room at a time or something like that, so we can buy 6 almirahs or 3 almirahs or 4 tables for one room in 1 month, like that we can. Cleanliness rankings. This is, I think, audit commissioner now. Anand Kumar leading his team. One thing important in this Cooper has made, but I agree with this. Be like a seed, grow every day. We have never grown up enough. You get my point? At 58 today, if a new word comes up in English, I Google it up immediately to see what it means and what the correct pronunciation is. You have never grown up enough. You can learn till the deathbed. That feeling should be there of being a student, that I'm yet incomplete. I'm yet incomplete. That feeling should be there. So this is all from my side. It has been a long time. Thanks for persevering with me. I don't know what to draw from your expressions. It's a mixed bag. Now I'll take a few questions if you have any. Please feel free. I am capable of digesting criticism, even in open forums. I have done it in Lucknow, which was much more, I'll say, violent. I've done it there. I have been publicly criticized in forums like this. Please, some questions. Subhadraji, you? Oh my God, great. You made my day. Familiarity breeds contempt. You must have heard of that. Have you heard? Familiarity breeds contempt. If you know too much of one fellow, so that respect goes away between the junior and the senior. Tell me one thing. Do we have a way out? If a posting is there for 2 years, Prathamesh has to work with Mr. X. It is like that. Ma'am, familiarity will never breed contempt. The seniors have a problem that they feel that if I open up too much with the junior, he will stop respecting me. Your fear is grossly ill-founded. This is my experience. The feeling some of the seniors, not all, I'll not say all, some of the seniors is that you always have to maintain a stern face, never smile, never give a soft look, then only your juniors will respect you. Bhai, you are living in a mistaken world. It's not like that. Madam, not at all. As I said, respect can never be demanded. It can only be commanded. It's not my saying. Everybody, each one of you knows. Commanded by what? By your behavior. Opening up doesn't mean that you are becoming too familiar. And what harm is there if you are becoming familiar? What harm? I am working with Shrikant every day. I know about him, about his family. So what? He still has to work as a ADC. I still have to work as a chief commissioner. How does it change the world? Nothing. But if you have a congenial workplace, congenial atmosphere, if you can smile, he can smile at me, I can smile at him. What's wrong in that? Don't make your workplace a gas chamber. So, madam, I'm sorry. I don't agree with you. And by the way, ever since I have seen you, now you're starting smiling much more. Next question. Please come with your questions. Please ask. किसका? आपका? अच्छा, okay. That is the reason. नहीं, वो उसका exam is over. Your daughter's exam. her CCL na, I've asked her to split. Now I'll give you an example. Just a practical example. CCL child care leave. Okay. The ladies need it. Because if the child is in 10th or 12th, so bhai, these are make or break years. So you have to pay attention. So she wanted a long CCL at a stretch. But the work will get affected. So very simple. Come for take CCL for 20 days, come for 10 days. Then take 20 days, then for 10 days. Arey bhai, every problem has a solution. Provided you have the will to find a solution. So she was finally happy with that. Because I knew, because at the end of she gave one of her very rare smiles. Please, there's a question. Please. It's like a chord. I'll answer this. This is a very important question. What do I meant by incentivizing 1 and 2 who are already overworked? We talk here of productivity, not production. What is productivity? Production per hour. When I say incentivizing 1 and 2 will increase their productivity, the output they give in unit time. You can be point or not. Rest assured about one thing. In this government sector, if the department which we are working with, except for rare occasions, if you are working late every day, then there is something wrong with you. Okay? Don't take it as a badge. Except for some certain days when you are supposed to work late. But some people have a habit of working till 8, 7, 7:30, 8, going at 8. Okay? Then believe me, there's something wrong with you. It should be possible for us, if we have good productivity, to complete our work in allotted daytime. My boss, Mr. B.S. Vasudev, 1979 batch, 79, na? 79 batch. He used to say that what you require here is, in this, to survive in the services, just one thing. You need not be an expert on law. What you require is common sense. But you guys know what is the most common thing about common sense? The most common thing about common sense is that it is uncommon. So you will, by incentivizing them, you will increase their output per hour, not necessarily the number of hours. Other question, please. Jagan Mohan, you are giving me such a stern look. Ask something, please. You should ask some questions. On the Lieutenant General, he told me, no, yes, it is difficult. Arey bhai, listen, yaar, these army people, you see, we can't understand the problem they face. They work with their hands tied to their back. Where the terrorists, they don't follow any human rights. Here they do some incidental killing of some bystander. If it happens, they will, court martial will be ordered. He said, yes, he said that it is difficult. He acknowledged that. But what a gentleman, I'm telling. Have you heard him? Heard him. Gem of a gentleman. He is very settled in his views. And watch that film, Mission Kashmir. Is it possible?
See, I request all the online participants also to unmute yourselves and ask the questions so that Sir can answer. Thank you.
Where is 350 written? 249. Reach the figure of 350. Not come on to 250. So it is an indicator that I should wind up. Last few questions. I'll request the ADCs to ask questions, please. Most crucial are, you Pratmesh, you have no question. Yashwant, you have no question. Dhruv, you are silent as always. Mohammad Ali asked the question. Shrikant, you don't have a question? Anyway, you have too much of me every day. More than what you can digest on daily basis. Huh? No questions from anybody? You have been picked, huh? You're spooked. Huh? Yeah, some issue with him. He is still in that mode. I am telling you, listen. You mean to say that people who work get overloaded more and more so? Hello? This is what you are saying, na? That is a fact, bhai. What's the big deal? That is the way our department is, and for that matter, most of the government department and most corporates are. Motivation. Hmm.
Get more work out of them. It's insensitive.
No.
They suffer. They suffer.
I'll answer that. This is very important.
They suffer a lot.
I'll answer this. What I am saying is his output per hour will increase. He means to say that his output per hour increases. He is taxing himself more. Okay, this is what you mean. He has to. I am not just to say on anything on that. There are n number of studies already done. People have done doctorates on this, which proves that human potential is immeasurable. Without so-called taxing yourself, if you have motivation, you can do wonders. Without taxing yourself, without so-called overloading yourself. This overload is in the mind. You get my point or not? Overload is in the mind. You, in a different set of circumstances, in a different mindset, will do X amount of work, and you yourself, in a different set of circumstances, better circumstances, will do the double amount of work, which with much more happiness, from which the organization will benefit. Anybody else? Cooper, any question? No? These two people have too much of me every day. No, Cooper सबसे ऊपर. Anything? So, I think it's been a long day. अच्छा, मारू जी बोलो. No, this is very good. Listen. It's on a serious note. You have serial number 9 and 10 in every organization. Okay? Less so in that. But I have worked everywhere. East, west, north, south. I have started from Jamshedpur, went to Kanpur, went to Ahmedabad, went to Hyderabad. I was 7 years. Hyderabad, I went to Allahabad on promotion. From Allahabad, I went to Nagpur. From Nagpur, I went to Dehradun. Dehradun, I went to Lucknow. Lucknow, I went to Bombay. And Bombay, after that, I have come here. By the way, my father was in a government department. He was in UP State Electricity Board. So in his younger days, he was very fiery. The way I had inherited it, he will fight in his organization, so he would be transferred very frequently. So my schooling was very disturbed in younger days. I did my class 4, standard 4, in 3 schools over 1.5 years. I don't know if you remember, earlier ICSE schools used to have this session from January to December. It was there long back, convent schools. So one day I was counting with my wife the number of houses I have lived in my service. Number of houses, separate houses, sometimes rented, sometimes departmental, with my father, in my hostel, where I did my engineering and all. The present CC bungalow is my 54th house in my 58-year life. I have been moving around. It was very much unstable in my father's years, but I have found that also. So I am used to the idea of moving around. So what was the question here? The question is answered now? 9 and 10 in September. You see, point here is not trying to disciplining them. The point is how the organization is benefiting. What is the objective? The objective is to improve the organization's productivity. Okay. Now the effort it will take for the top bosses or the organization to discipline the number 10 and 10. In half the effort, your productivity will increase by incentivizing number 1 and 2. I knew this example 1 to 10 will create this thing. Okay. You can Google it up. Professor Upadhyay, I don't remember his full name, but what a person. When he came into the class, he looked so funny, like that. With 110 kg he would be. Huh? But once he started speaking, it lies here. Saraswati. Wonderful. So what I say, or rather he said, but I have just narrated what he said. This has been proved by a number of studies the worldwide. So that is all I think. Okay then, thank you all for bearing with me. I hope it was not boring. Was it? And it's you are under compulsion to say. Oh really? Oh really?
Sir, क्या है?
You know,